Welcome to Nice and Blunt. I'm Adam Riancho, and it's Monday. Time to look ahead at Week 8's schedule and make some win-loss picks for every NFL game. Before we do that, as always, I take a look at last week's predictions and own up to where I was right, where I was wrong, and I went 8-5. I had the chance to go 9-4, but I switched my pick. I originally had Pittsburgh when I thought it was Justin Fields. I did not believe in Russell Wilson, and I was wrong. The Steelers did win. They're now 5-2, and we'll see how long Russ can keep it going. But the Jets kind of just suck. They are really a bad team. And although there's a lot of hype with all the trades and everything going on, the Jets are just bad. I'm done believing in them. They do get the Patriots this week. They probably get back in the win column. But I was also wrong about the Patriots over the Jags. The Jags finally woke up. The Patriots are not good enough. And Drake May just does not have enough experience. Their offense just never got rolling. The Falcons did not beat the Seahawks as well. Seahawks looked very impressive on the road. I still think the Falcons are the better team, but I could be wrong. Seattle does not lose their fourth in a row. They were a little desperate. The Vikings did lose off the bye. They did not have the answers. They did have the lead multiple times. However, the Lions did win. So good for the Lions. They're now atop that division. Very tough team to beat. And the Giants did not beat the Eagles. The Saquon Barkley revenge game did go as most people predicted. Kind of a misguided decision by me. But Daniel Jones, just terrible, terrible player. Understandable why he got benched. But the games that also happened, the Broncos did beat the Saints. The Saints have a terrible run defense and had no chance with all their injuries. The Bills had a slow start but did get rolling. They did figure it out. Bills won comfortably. The Bengals did beat Cleveland, who lost Deshaun Watson. We'll see if their offense looks any better rest of season with Jameis Winston. The Packers did beat Houston. Packers found a way. Colts also beat the Dolphins. Their run game did get going, but the Dolphins just without Tua never have a chance. We'll see what happens when they get Tua back. Hopefully, Tua stays healthy. The Rams did beat the Raiders without Cooper Kupp. It didn't matter. The Rams did find a way. The Washington Commanders, though, handled the Panthers easily, even with Marcus Mariota from an early point in the game. Jaden Daniels went down. Mariota demolished them. Final score 40-7. Commanders looked fantastic. The Chiefs, though, beat the Niners. They don't have any excuses either. There's a lot of injuries with the Chiefs. They figured it out. The Niners lost a lot of players, but no, Brock Purdy cannot beat Mahomes after all. Otherwise, though, there's still 2 games left. I did take the Ravens over the Bucs on the road. I also took the Chargers over the Cardinals on the road. And if those 2 games are correct, I will go 10-5. But I might go 8-7. We will find out. And odds are I probably go 9-6 because I cannot quit my Chargers. But let's pray. Let's see what happens. You guys, however, do not need any prayers. You guys had an excellent record this week. 11-2 from y'all. The 2 games you had wrong were also the Jets over Pittsburgh. Not enough people believed in Russell Wilson. And then you also took the Falcons over Seattle, and Seattle was a bit of a shocker this week. That game was not as competitive as we expected. So good for Seattle, good for Pittsburgh, and good for y'all. 11-2, really nice. And you do agree with me on both the Baltimore Ravens and the Chargers. So at the moment, I am 5 games back on the season. Total record would be 63-42 for yours truly. You guys are 68-37. You picked up 3 games on me in week 7, but I will not get anything back. On Monday, we see eye to eye with those 2 games. But against the spread, I am so far above 500. I'm 3-2. I did take the Chargers +1 tonight to win straight up. So let's hope that happens. I would really like to be 4-2 this week because on the season, I'm still below 500. At the moment, I'm 15-19-1. We had 1 push, and overall, I have not been doing well against the spread. It was really just weeks 1 and 2. I was so bad the first 2 weeks. It's been a while to get back on track. That's it for my record so far. Let's get into week 8's schedule and make those win-loss picks. On Thursday, we have an excellent game between the Rams hosting the Vikings. Kevin O'Connell facing off against his former team. He helped the Rams win the Super Bowl before he was the Vikings coach. But this is really important for the Rams. They lost 4 games before the bye, and I think Cooper Kupp will play. I also think Puka Nacua will play as well. Quick turnaround time, and Kupp was practicing last week. I think that's why they held him out. He was not fully healthy for Sunday, and they did not want to take any risks. Really need him, really need Puka as well. I think without Puka, I will probably take Minnesota, but I think he'll be on the field, and I think the Rams are desperate as fuck. The Rams' back is against the wall. They cannot lose 5 out of their first 7 games. So I think they get it done. I'm going to take Stafford. I also think the Rams will go on a bit of a hot streak here, will rattle off wins, get back to 500 pretty soon. They are not a team I would write off. So the Rams win, close game here, but kind of like that Lions game. I think the Rams find a way to come back and win on possibly a last-second field goal. Going to be very close, but on Thursday night, give me the home team. I'll take the Rams over the Vikings. I think they have the better coach. It's close, but they definitely have the better quarterback. Give me Stafford over Darnold. On Sunday, the Bengals host the Eagles, and I know the Bengals have been disappointing this year, but their wide receivers are rolling at the moment. T. Higgins cannot be stopped, neither can Jamar Chase, and the Eagles secondary still does not give me enough confidence to bet against those weapons in Cincy. So I'm going to take the Bengals. I think they have the better quarterback. I also think the coaching is better. I still don't trust Nick Sirianni, and I know they just demolished the Giants, but the Giants kind of suck. I believe the Eagles will crumble at some point. They will go on a big losing streak, and this is part of the equation. I picked them to lose against the Bengals back in the offseason, and I am holding to that decision. Give me Cincinnati over Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts will make some mistakes. I still don't trust Jalen Hurts to not turn it over. Give me Joe Burrow over Jalen Hurts. In Cleveland, though, interesting to watch the Browns without Deshaun Watson. Maybe their offense does show signs of life. I know they trade away Amari Cooper. It's not going to be as good as we hope, but I do think in division at home, they will play well on defense against Baltimore. I don't think the Ravens are going to be crushing them like they have those NFC opponents. Lamar Jackson is almost undefeated against the NFC, and he's had a lot of those matchups lately. So their offense has been rolling. I'm definitely taking Baltimore to win, but I think the Browns will be competitive. I think it will be a little bit closer than some people expect, but definitely give me Baltimore to win straight up. Give me the Ravens over Cleveland. In Detroit, the Lions are humming, and the Titans give you no confidence whether it's Will Levis or Mason Rudolph. Their quarterback situation is the problem, and although Rudolph doesn't turn it over as egregiously as Levis, he's still not good. He's not putting you over the top, and their offense is just very problematic. I don't trust them at all against Detroit. Detroit will probably win by at least 20 points in this matchup. Definitely give me the Lions at home over the Titans. The Dolphins host the Cardinals, and Kyler Murray will be able to exploit their bad run defense. The Dolphins cannot stop the run at all, but their secondary is pretty good. I do think Marvin Harrison Jr. will have problems against Jalen Ramsey. He's good, but he hasn't shown me enough to consider him matchup proof. So the Dolphins will shut him down, and Trey McBride won't do enough. I think as long as Tua plays, the Dolphins will be motivated. They're going to be very uplifted by his return. Their offense will get going, and even the run game will step up. So Tyreek Hill going to play well. Same with Jalen Waddle. They need Tua. Now that he's back, they will get the win. Give me Miami at home over Arizona. They will claw back into the playoff picture. I don't think they make the playoffs, but I do think Miami is better than their current record would suggest. Give me the Dolphins at home. In New England, the Patriots host the Jets, and if it wasn't against New England, I'd expect the Jets to probably backslide and continue this losing streak, but against New England, they will get back on track. They beat them comfortably the first time, and their offense will look even better this time around. So I don't trust Drake May against this defense. He will make some mistakes. He wasn't competitive enough against the Jags for me to trust in New England. So even though it's in Foxborough, I don't care. The Jets will sweep. Give me New York over New England. Aaron Rodgers gets his second win over the Patriots. In Tampa, the Buccaneers host the Falcons, and this game was down to the wire last time in overtime. It took Kadarius Hodge's fresh legs to get the win, and I don't think that's going to happen this time around. I do not see Tampa getting swept, and this would be their third loss in 4 weeks if they lose, assuming I'm right, and they lose to Baltimore. And I don't think that happens. I don't think they lose 2 in a row to Kirk Cousins. He's not going to throw for 500 yards for the second time this season. So Drake London will be the key. London plays a lot better at home in this matchup than on the road, and Tampa will right the ship. They will get back on track. They're not losing once again to the Falcons. So means a lot in division. They're going to split the series. Give me Tampa Bay at home over the Falcons. In Jacksonville, though, the Jags do not give me any confidence. I know they beat the Patriots, but the Packers are a different animal. Definitely taking Green Bay. By far the better coach, better quarterback, better offense overall. And maybe Brian Thomas plays well. Maybe Tank Bigsby breaks a big run, but it's just not going to be enough. The Packers will win. They will clamp down on the Jags. In Houston, though, very interesting game. It was very competitive the first time around, and the Texans had Nico Collins and also shut down Jonathan Taylor. I expect Taylor to be healthy for this game. He was talking kind of optimistically last week, but he didn't suit up. I think he'll be back on the field against the Texans, who historically he does dominate. In week 1, though, they shut him down. Joe Mixon was far better, but I don't think they shut him down twice in a row. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will be Houston that gets the win here, but I think Richardson will get one of those deep passes again, and Taylor will be unleashed. I don't think Taylor will get stopped for the second time in a row against Houston, a team he normally puts up like 160 plus yards on before this season. So I don't think they lose twice. I think it's a very close divisional matchup, and I will take Indianapolis because Nico Collins is not there. The offense will just not be completely elite, and they will have one misfire that just costs them the game. It'll be close in division. I think the Colts play very tough and do get the win. I'm calling upset here. Give me Anthony Richardson over CJ Stroud and the Texans. I'm going to take the Colts. I'm going to call upset, and maybe it's just being contrarian, but I genuinely believe the Colts can hang with the Texans. It'll be very close, but give me the Indianapolis Colts. Jonathan Taylor will go off. The Chargers host the Saints, and if Derek Carr doesn't play again, this will be a blowout in favor of the Chargers. But I think Derek Carr will be healthy. I think it will be more competitive. But without Rashid Shaheed, that element over the top is critical. A big loss for that offense. Shaheed's big plays have been the reason why they've won some games this year. So without it, it's just not going to be enough. I will take the Chargers. Their defense will shut down Derek Carr. Going to be a close one, maybe like 23-21, something like that. But I will take the Chargers to win. In Seattle, the Seahawks host Buffalo, and although they looked good against the Falcons, I don't think they beat the Bills. The Bills just have too much firepower. Josh Allen will go ham on them, and I just think Geno Smith will force too many mistakes. He's going to turn it over a little too much. So I will take Buffalo. I like their defense, and with Amari Cooper, their offense will get rolling. He will look a lot better. In week 2, he'll know the offense far better this time around. So give me the Bills. I think they win comfortably here by close to a touchdown, if not more. I think Buffalo will win. The Denver Broncos, though, host the Panthers, and the Panthers are just ass this season. Denver, with extra time to prepare, will be rested, will be good to go, and the Panthers' run defense will get exploited by Javonte Williams. For the second week, he'll look good. So give me Denver. They definitely win at home. In Las Vegas, though, there is no chance I'm taking the Raiders. With that off-season training camp mishap with the Kermit the Frog Muppet, I think Mahomes goes nuclear here. I think he really plays well, and they get embarrassed by the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to drop like 40-plus points on the Raiders. Once again, you woke up the wrong motherfucker. So the Chiefs will win. They will stay undefeated. They are clearly the best team in the NFL. The Raiders fucking suck. In Washington, though, best game on the week. The Commanders host the Bears. Bears are off a bye, and it's the number 1 pick against the number 2 guy. I hope that Jaden Daniels plays. He did leave last week a little bit early, and I'm really hopeful he will be available. I expect him to play. I don't think he'll miss it, and they didn't really need him at all to beat Carolina, but they will need him here. This will be a very close game, and because of the extra time, I'm going to take Chicago. I think their defense has shown me a lot more this season. I'm willing to trust it. The Commanders' secondary is still bad. They've played a lot better lately, but it's a much more difficult test against Chicago than Carolina. And if you recall last year, DJ Moore owned this matchup. He went off for like 250 yards against Washington last season. So he's going to play well. I also think Rome Odunze will look fantastic off the bye. If Rome gets rolling rest of season, then the Bears are going to be a nightmare to beat this season. So I'm going to take Chicago. I do think they're the better team. I originally picked them to make the playoffs over the Commanders, and I'm going to stick to that original call back in the summer. I will take Chicago here over Washington. I think Caleb proves why he deserved to be that number 1 overall pick. Jaden's been playing lights out, but I do think Caleb is a little bit better. We will see why. He has more weapons in this game. Give me Chicago over Washington. Gonna be close, but I think the Bears defense will keep Jaden Daniels in check just enough. Give me Chicago over Washington. Last game on Sunday, though, Sunday Night Football, the Niners host the Cowboys, and historically, the Niners just own this matchup. It's not even close. It's like varsity against the middle school flag football team. Like, Dallas looks like shit in this matchup. Last year, they were completely embarrassed, and they probably look a little better. They're off the bye, and they know this matchup is critical. They were so embarrassed against Detroit 2 weeks ago. Jerry Jones is upset, but it's not going to be enough. They will be more competitive, but I will take the Niners. I know there's a lot of injuries, but Ayuk is kind of irrelevant for their success this season. I don't think they miss him that much if he is indeed out for the season, and I think the Niners will get it done. They will have Deebo Samuel in this one, and they will get the job done. George Kittle probably scores another 3 touchdowns like he did last season. So they hate Dallas. They will right the ship off the loss to the Chiefs. They will not fall to 2 games below 500. They'll get to 4-4. Give me the Niners over Dallas. They are the better team. I trust the Niners in this spot. Last game of the week, though, the Steelers host the Giants in primetime on Monday night, and another primetime game for Pittsburgh. Not really the team I want to watch the most. I'd rather have, honestly, the Chiefs in primetime here, but I'm definitely taking Pittsburgh. I do not trust Daniel Jones at all. He probably gets benched again in this game. We'll probably see Drew Lock before the game is over. Give me Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson did look good, but their defense will shut down the Giants easily. Give me Mike Tomlin on Monday night to get their 6th win of the season. So those are my win-loss picks this week. I'm taking the Rams at home over the Vikings, a bit of an upset. Give me the Bengals at home over the Eagles. I still do not trust Sirianni or Jalen Hurts. The Ravens on the road over Cleveland. That one's an easy one. The Lions own the Titans at home as well. The Miami Dolphins, though, I do think win a close game over Arizona at home. The Jets get an easy win over the Patriots, one of the only teams they can beat. The Buccaneers do beat the Falcons. They will not get swept. The Packers will demolish the Jaguars. I have no faith in Jacksonville. And then I think the Colts will pull an upset on the back of Jonathan Taylor over the Texans. Close game. I'm taking Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor. The Chargers will beat Derek Carr. The Bills will beat Geno Smith, even in Seattle. The Broncos hosting Carolina will get the win. The Chiefs will completely embarrass the Raiders. You woke up the wrong motherfucker. The Chicago Bears will beat the Commanders. Caleb looks like the better player, and San Francisco will embarrass the Dallas Cowboys for the 2nd time in 3 weeks. Lastly, though, the Steelers will beat the Giants at home. Those are my win-loss picks. There is not a single team on bye. We get all 16 matchups in week 8. But before I go, I do give you some picks against the spread, and I'm going with 6 games once again. I'm trying to get above 500, and I want that extra game to pick up a little bit of ground. So these are the 6 games. I'm taking the Rams as the straight up winners. They are 3-point underdogs. So give me the Rams +3 for sure. I will take the Packers definitely -5. I think they win by well over a touchdown. Give me the Packers to cover. I think the Chiefs completely embarrass the Raiders, win by well over 20 points. Honestly, I think it's a 3 touchdown type of game. And at the moment, they are only favored by 9.5. If it was 10, maybe I'd chicken out, but especially at 9.5, I am interested. Give me the Chiefs -9.5. The Cowboys, I think, will be competitive. They will not get completely wrecked, but they will lose, but not by more than 6 points. Give me the Cowboys +5.5. They're off the bye. I think they'll be more competitive this week. Give me the Cowboys +5.5. But I also think the Browns are getting way too many points here. They're not going to lose by 11. I think in division at home, it will be a little closer. Only a 7-point victory by Baltimore. Give me the Browns +10. That one feels kind of stupid though. And then lastly, I'll take the Saints +7.5. I know my Chargers well enough to know they will not score more than 24, and the Saints will probably get close to 20. So 7.5 points, that's too much. I think the Chargers will not win by 8+. Give me the Saints to cover plus 7.5, but not win straight up. So give me the Rams +3. I like the underdogs there. The Packers, heavy favorites, not favored by enough though, -5 for sure. Chiefs -9.5. Cowboys +5.5. Might be a little stupid, but I'll take it. Browns, I think, will lose by only 1 touchdown, not 2. And then the Saints +7.5. They keep it within a touchdown themselves. So those are my picks this week. That's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I give you rankings for your fantasy football team all throughout the week. Subscribe if you don't want to miss out. My name's Adam Riancho. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Nice and blunt.